मित्रों नमस्कार, मैं डीपी अंगबार, former assistant director and HOD Physics and Cyber CFSL Chandigarh. Today I will discuss about forensic examination of the glass part 1. So in part 1 I will discuss two determinations of the direction of the force. From which direction the force is applied to break the glass. This is a very important. The determination of direction of the force is very important because if we determine the direction of the force, we can achieve a point whether anybody has break the glass from the outside or inside, because in some cases we observed the person intentionally break the glass from inside and he claiming somebody or some enemy has attacked from the outside. So if we establish the glass has been broken out by the applying of the force or the impact of the force from the inside, means from the room side in which the person is living. So this can be very helpful in investigation of the crime. So in this situation, first we have to determine the nature of the cracks. When any impact is applied on the glass break a pattern. So if we see the pattern, there are two types of the cracks is observed in the glass. One is a radial cracks like this, radial cracks, which start from the crack start from the center, from the point of impact and radiate to the outside direction. This is called the radial cracks, like this and this. Other is a circular cracks or concentric cracks or sometimes also called the spiral cracks. So first you have to determine the nature of the cracks because this is very important. The piece of the glass, broken glass found at the SOC or intact on the window, you have to mark the inside or outside on the glass. Because if we not able to detect the circular or the radial fracture, the determination of the direction of the force may not be carried out or may be wrong. So, the direction of the force, as I have told, is a radial fracture or the is a spiral fracture. So, you have to mark on the piece of the glass which you are going to examination. That piece contain the radial fracture or the spiral fracture. Now, how to determine the direction of the force? I have told first you have to determine the nature of the fracture, whether this is a radial fracture or the concentric fracture. In the radial fracture, suppose you pick up the piece of the broken glass that contains radial fracture. So, in case of the radial fracture, we can apply the 3R rule. 3R rule means direction of the force. In case of the radial fracture, the direction of force is rear side of the fracture. Like this. This is a perpendicular. Yeah. Oh, if this is a, we select the radial fracture, so this is a perpendicular, the applied force is a opposite direction, in this direction. If the piece, suppose this is a piece and this is edge, and such type of the cracks are observed in case of the radial fracture. So the direction of the force is the opposite rear side of the this right angle. So this is called the 3R rule. Right angle, radial fracture, rear glass means back side glass. Yeah, a 3R rule, right? And if we get the concentric fracture, the this may be applied the opposite rule. So the same direction of the perpendicular. So for the remembering, keep in the 3R rule. In case of radial fracture, right angle and rear side. This is a only one rule should be remember in the mind. So if this rule is in our mind, we can determine the direction of the force very easily when we found at the crime scene. So if for that, because I have about 34 years of experience in this forensic field, and I have examined a lot of number of cases, and now I am retired and establish a private forensic lab, DP forensic lab. So for any further study or information, please contact to my this number 95690999174, or this is email dp@.com. In the private person, private party, anybody who are interested to investigation, forensic investigation, be provided such type of the facility. Thank you.